thank you, Karen, for that great introduction, although well-deserved. Just kidding. I see the Berbers and the Merediths and Blake. Great to see you guys. Hey, it's really great to be here. Greetings from, I just landed at the airport and just got here, and had a couple of drinks on the plane. I didn't really, but anyway, I give you great greetings from Austin, Texas, live music capital of the world, home of South by Southwest, home of Austin City Limits Outdoor Concert and also Austin City Limits, home of the Longhorn Nation, or if we don't start winning games, it'll be the Longhorn Village. We're working on that. And home of a Formula One racetrack. Whatever, but I'll tell you the story. I've only got 10 minutes, which is like I can't even show my films about me. But, and also home of Dell and Karen, an awesome company that believes in the spirit and the passion of if you can dream something, you can build something. And we're proud to be part of that whole culture. But the main thing I want to do is, and also give rise a huge applause, the entrepreneurs of Austin and the RISE organization. Thank you so much for hosting this. But mainly I want to give a thanks to the young people here who have come from here and around the world. I want to give you a hug. I'll tell you why. You represent the spirit and the passion and the drive of the future. You represent the idea that you have the audacity to jump off the building and build the wings on the way down. That you actually believe, like my friend Blake here, you actually believe you can take a chance and change the world. So that's my biggest thanks, that you're here in Austin, Texas, and I respect you so much. Secondly, entrepreneurs are actually the miracle of the human spirit. The young and young at heart entrepreneurs, I promise you, 99% of us never start our business to make money. We start our business to follow our dreams and create a better world. And in the process of doing that, we create the future and improve lives. And that is what the miracle of entrepreneurship is, the young and young at heart. And I promise you, if you have purpose, is the thing that powers your life. And if you're lucky enough, as some of you are as young entrepreneurs, to get purpose early in your life, you will never have a job. You'll simply have work to do. And that's a huge difference. When you have work to do, you wake up every day thinking, I'm going to make a difference in somebody else's life. I'm going to work hard to do that, and in the process, you'll make money. That's what happens. So George Bernard Shaw said it the best. He was a weird ass, but I'm telling you, he said it the best. He said, look, the true joy in life is to be used by a purpose that you yourself deem as a mighty one. Become a force of nature instead of a selfish, feverish little ball of ailments that always complains that the world doesn't spend its frigging life trying to make you happy. You give a person good health and a course to steer, you won't have time to worry about whether or not you're happy or not. I'm in the course to steer business. My purpose is to help others fulfill theirs. And I'm launching a new journey of my life called Dream It, Build It. And we're going to launch a movement starting here in America that's going to inspire and mentor the young and young at heart to dream something and build something. Between 1985 and 2005, and I promise I'll stay within 10 minutes, or maybe not. 2005 back to 1985, there were 40 million jobs created in America, 95% by companies less than 5 years old. You represent. When we build businesses, we build futures, and everything comes. So what is purpose? If Philip and Tom Meredith and Blake aren't in the room, or Bill Clinton, I defer to Aristotle. And here's what he said. Purpose. The purpose of life is to live your life with a goal to do good. Not to be a do-gooder, but to do good. He ladders it up that says, really, purpose is this: where your talents and the needs of the world intersect, therein lies your vocation. Where your talents and the needs of the world intersect, therein lies your purpose. I know that we all represent different cultures around the world, and different cultures have expectations on young people. But because you're here, you're here. You're probably following, even if you don't know it, the great Chinese proverb. By the way, I have no notes. I'm just going live. Is that okay? It says, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step in Tom's shoes. But the truth is, because you were brave enough to jump off the building and build the wings on the way down, you've already taken that first step on the journey of 1,000 miles. We have a great philosopher named Mark Twain. He was a street philosopher, Tom, as you know. He wasn't a big shot. You know what he said? 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed on the things you didn't do than on the things you did. Cast off the bowstrings. Get away from the safe haven. Catch the trade winds in your sails. Discover, learn, and dream. Final story. Bill Clinton was in the cell that Nelson Mandela spent 24 years of his life. And President Clinton told me this story. They were standing there in a room 7x4 with one little window. And President Mandela looked at President Clinton and said, you know, they took everything from me. They took my wife. They took my family. They took my home, and they took my property. And they took my money. But the one thing they did not take from me was my dream. Because I would have had to give it to them, and I refused. Refuse to give your dream away. This is what this is all about. And Dell, I can't thank you so much, and all you folks who make this happen. Closing story about your purpose. I was in the 9th grade, 8th grade, and my mom was a teacher in Brownwood, Texas. I turned in a paper on Emerson. I had 12 misspelled words. I got a C. C's weren't celebrated in my home. And my mom was a school teacher, and the next year we were studying Emerson, Blake, and the next year I turned in a paper on Emerson again. I said, I can't turn in a paper. I had 2 more misspelled words, and the whole thing was red, and I got an A. And I went home to my mom and I said, I don't get this. This is 14 years old. And my mother, Ruth Spence, looked at me. She called me Royito, little Roy. Royito, you can't spell, but you can write. And at 14 years old, my mother struck a grand bargain. She said, I don't want you to spend 1 second of your life trying to be average at what you're bad at. I want you to spend your entire life being great at what you're good at. And then she said, hire a speller. I was writing a speech last night, Clinton Global Initiative. I put initiative into spell check. It said no suggestion. I challenge all of you to play to your strengths. Susie, thank you for inviting me. God bless all of you. I wish you a purpose-inspired life.